about your love for music. It's been quite clear to everyone that you have only one major musician, and anything you do, anywhere you go, it's always Ebenezer. Why? What explains that?
Chief Commander, Professor, Evangelist Ebenezer is the greatest Juju living legend. And I want to thank God that our path crossed.
How many years ago?
I will explain.
Okay.
I will explain. Um, I've always been a lover of the Jew music. But in 1972, became a game changer when sometimes in June 1972, I was in Form 4 of my secondary school at the Grammar School when the release of board members album came out. I went to somewhere called Odoiro in Ilesha, a restaurant, to go and eat jollof rice that afternoon. Besides the buka, we call it, it's not a restaurant, it's buka, a restaurant to dignify it now. There was a record uh, seller,
Seller.
there. While I was eating my plate of jollof rice, the man slaughtered. It doesn't, I mean, not for me, it didn't just came out
Yeah.
because it needs to sell.
Yeah.
And you can always buy when you listen. When I listen to the board members, one side, Edumaration Ramidayo, the second side, I've I finished eating my jollof rice. But meanwhile, I was enjoying the board members, the base LP. That was his first LP. The other one were small, the small records, the long, So I had to slow the pace of my eating in order to spend more time, in order not to quit my seat for somebody else who want to eat rice from that shop, in order to continue to listen to obey. But at the end of the day, I finished eating the first plate. And the record was yet to end. Where could I stay? So I had to call for another plate of rice so that I now took my time, spoon. After taking a spoon, I wait for a few minutes before taking the next one so that I can listen to the two sides severally. This was 72. So when he was singing the likes of Yinka Rose ilẹ̀ ọmọlọ́lá, ọmọ ya oyè, kúkú pa mí ó gbé mi pọ́nlẹ̀. I was thinking, could these people be human beings or they are spirits? Well, if they are human beings, they must be special human beings. Okay. when Obe and Sonny will come to Elisha in December, usually uh, um, the, our elders, social society, then they will invite them. We will not say Obe, we will not say Sonny. They will bring them to our town hall, Wokubusi town hall. Then they will mount this roofing sheet barricade around the whole place. We will be staying outside the barricade and just be jumping. We won't see Sonny, we won't see Obe until they come, when they come here or when they leave. But we just be happy, hearing from December no rain. So ever since then, I have loved Obe. I also love Sonny Ade. I'm also, the two of them. But you see, when I was in the university, I read economics. Economics was a very difficult course for me because uh, it uh, it has a lot of mathematics in it, and I wasn't too good in mathematics. So in my university days, whenever I want to read at night in my room, my cassette player, I will slot in Obe. You know, it seeks more of philosophical, so, and the music encourages me. No matter how difficult the mathematics in that, by the time I'm listening to Obe, and of course, I was, how do I was, I don't know the appropriate word to use now. I will put up, I will open a bottle of Gouda. Gouda was my favorite. Then slot in the Obe cassette. Believe you me, I will get the solution to the problem. So I discovered that the music became a partner in progress for me. So some 15 years ago, and I said, before I came to Ibadan, I'd spent many years also in Lagos, where the bulk of my siblings reside. When you go to parties in Surulere in those days, you find Sonny or Obe playing at the backyard or within a residential setting. Ah, the, honestly, the first time I witnessed it, I couldn't eat. It took me days before I could reconcile the thought, what I saw. That I used to think that they cannot play until you secure a field, you know, as big as a national stadium. That is where they can play. But seeing them to play for a small size audience really baffled me. So some 15 years ago, about, and I said, okay, we can also invite Obe and Sonny to be playing for us. We'll just invite few people, not many people. So I told three of my friends, Tunde Falasino, who was a former general manager in Total and later managing director of African Petroleum, Chief Rotimi Obeyesu, who owns Teamset chain of organizations, and uh, Chief Okoro, Akinwale Shodipo. And they also bought into the idea that let's four of us invite Obi. Another 2 months, let's invite King Sunny Ade. They bought into the idea. So that was how we started. The first time when we started with Chief Commander Ebenezer Obi, when he came, Shino accompanied Baba Commander to that show. Sure, Shino told me last year he came home for the 82nd birthday of Chief Commander Ebenezer Obi. So when we were at the family house after the church, said now recanted their first their first show. That when they came in, we the four of us and our wives making hit. Then we invited 20 other people, making 28 in hall. But you see, we had tasked ourselves, especially the four of us, that what Chief Ebenezer Obey will anticipate to make from 1,000 crowd, we will try to augment it to make it from the four of us. So we try to live up to that promise amongst ourselves. To the extent that, but when they were leaving, they couldn't believe that. They couldn't believe that from this small crowd, they could put, they could gather such handsome returns, So that was the beginning of the, uh, and of course, Kingston the two will come another 2 months. We were repeating that, but after a while, on personal conviction, I settled for all my birthdays uh, for Baba, uh, Professor Evangelist Ebenezer Obefabe. The relationship has gone beyond. It's now a family, and part of that family is also part of my own family. So there's no child of Chief Commander Ebenezer Obe today who does not know the Asiwaju Yinka Fasuyi. There's none. So the same way, there is nobody in my nuclear and extended family who does not know that Chief Commander Ebenezer Obe is part of us. Because anything I will do is about commander. Okay? If I will have parties 7 days, in a week of 7 days, it will be Baba commander. Okay? So, and it has been a wholesome relationship, and Baba commander is just fantastic. Is wholesome. Is let me tell you this. When I was the Asiwaju that I am today of the Shalan, that Chief Commander Ebenezer Obe was instrumental to it. How? When I coordinated the three other friends, making four of us, to start inviting him and King Sunny Ade. Each time, after some time, whenever the commander we want to sing of Yinka Fasuyi, he will refer to me as Asiwaju. Initially, he started singing Asiwaju by the group of four. Later on, he was not adding the by the group of four. He wanted to say Asiwaju Yinka Fasuyi. Now, 10 years ago, when I turned 60, and he came to play. So my throughout uh, the period of the performance, Chief Commander just sang Ashwaju in Fasuyi. 3 days after my senior brothers called me from Lagos that Yinka, oh, sọ fún wa pé ó ti di aṣíwájú. Má ló jẹ ọyà, wọ́n ní mi ò jẹ́ aṣíwájú, kọ̀mádà ló máa ń pè mí ní aṣíwájú. Wọ́n ní ṣé ètùdù àwọn ni pé kọ̀mádà máa pẹ̀lú aṣíwájú láti kó ti jẹ oyè aṣíwájú síbi kan. Wọ́n ní mi ò jẹ́ aṣíwájú. They couldn't believe it. They thought maybe one community has offered me that and and then that was why. So one of the Ijesha chiefs who attended the birthday went to Owa, our late Imperial Majesty, Oba Adekunle Aromolaron, that you had a son in Ibadan, and Obe was calling him Asiwaju, 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 and we found out from him that he's not yet any Asiwaju of anywhere. Why don't you make him Asiwaju? That party, it was an 8-day celebration. Why, So Kabiyesi requested for my profile. When he saw my profile, he said, okay, this one is good for that position. On the 6th of July, 2016, it was Chief Commander Obi was playing at Share Club. I don't know Busanya. It was at a party of the Aboderi when they were burying one of their old ones. And while I was there, the Owa sent the chief is down late, who went to inform Kabiyesi that was Chief Lorunyi of Ilesha, before he died a few years ago. He now called me that His Imperial Majesty has graciously agreed to install me as Asiwaju of Ijesha land. Incidentally, Obi was playing. So I just went to the stage to show Baba Commander the message I received from the palace. Obi had to stop the music to start again. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo wí ṣẹ àbí kò ṣẹ, Asiwaju Yinka Fasuyi, ó ṣẹ Yinka Fasuyi. So now, when Baba gave me a date, His Imperial Majesty, the date for the chieftaincy ceremony, for the conferment of the chieftaincy, Chief Commander already had a commitment to play in Ijebu-Ode. And I pleaded with Baba Commander that, look, if you are not going to play for me, then luckily, incidentally also, my Kabiyesi, Baba Aromolaron, was also a teacher to Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey in Abeokuta. So I said, go and tell Kabiyesi that I'm no longer interested in the Asiwaju chieftaincy if you are not going to play. You know what Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey did? He said, I will get back to you, that I should give him 2-3 days. Chief Commander left Lagos to go to Ijebu-Ode to go and meet that chief, to plead with him. return his money, then give him another band to play free of charge, so that he can be released to come and play at Elisha for me. That was it's only Chief Commander Ebenezer that can do that. It's only that was how Chief Commander Ebenezer came to play on Saturday, 22nd of October, 2016, the day I was installed Asiwaju of Ishaland.